Oopsie. Oh no. Oh, oh, okay. Okay, ChatGPT. We're doing this so you can help me out with some training documentation. I hope you can hear us okay. Okay, so we're going to briefly review new customer account setup and then creating a POD job from a broker. So we've received an email from the customer. They've sent us over a PO. They've sent us over their sales tax exempt paperwork. They sent us over a W-9, which I don't believe we're going to need, but we have it anyway. We need to do a couple of things. First and foremost, we need to get them in the system and make sure that their account's up to date. As a result of going to the trade show, I've already created them an account inside the JDC software. However, because we've traditionally put ST5s and stuff like that associated with their wholesale account in Shopify, we need to open the job in JDC so we can get the account info, and then we need to go back into Shopify and create them an account in there and then set them up as a contractor and upload their documents, which means you have a copy of that email. You're gonna have to open that and download the 3 documents that were attached. One of them I've already printed out. The other 2 you're gonna download, we're gonna upload those to their account, and then we'll just reference that account in the client notes inside JDC.
Okay.
Yeah, and I've got them in per their names, so yeah, her, yep, there you go, perfect. And for the purposes of recording this too, why don't you hit the Windows right button? Oh, you might have to click on the, oh, what? Okay, that'll do. All right. So before we go any further here, go ahead and open up Shopify and your email. Tax settings, collect and less exemptions. Okay, and then the exemption that she has, you're gonna have to get from the email.
I already know this. Yes, ma'am.
Doesn't matter what you name it, you're gonna drag and drop it anyway. Just hit save, it'll be in your recent. Okay, we're not quite to dragging and dropping yet. You gotta figure out what state that was issued from.
New York.
Okay. Okay. Scroll up. Tags, contractor. Or contract, yeah. And then notes, You don't have to, but I mean, this is a place where you could tag it with, you know, San Antonio ASI Show 2025 or something. Okay, and then hit save. Now you can drag and drop the W9 and the ST5 into the timeline.
Do I need to put the W9 in there as well?
Mm-hmm. Seems like a good place to house all that stuff.
Okay.
Okay. And that's it. You don't have to do anything else there, and I doubt she's ever going to need access to this. If she does, we can send her a customer account invite from the 3-dot icon up at the top. Yep. Oh, no, sorry, more actions. Send account invite. But in this case, she's not using this site. We're just storing her account info. So
Yep.
now that that's done, we're done in Shopify. You can go back to edit her profile in JDC. In the notes section, this is the place where if she provides us a shipping account number and zip code, or a UPS account number and zip code, this is where we'll store it, so it'll be on every job. Also, you might just, the first note might be paperwork in Shopify, or tax docs in Shopify, or just whatever. Okay.
Yeah, that's gonna make more sense, I think.
Okay, last thing before we save this, she's provided sales tax exempt info, so she is no longer taxable. And in case whoever made this account did not apply a customer level discount because they hadn't provided that paperwork yet, this would be the place to update it. So 20% discount, non-taxable. You get the note in there about where the tax exemption paperwork is. The rest of the data appears to be correct. Go ahead and hit save. Customer's good to go. Okay, so now we need to assemble the job that she has provided us. Because she gave us a PO, yep, we're just gonna name it PO. And then whatever the PO number is for her.
Do we need to have a space there, or does that matter?
It doesn't ultimately matter. It makes it a little easier to read.
Okay.
Okay, job type is going to change to POD. Due date, you're gonna check the PO. Some of them have them, some of them don't. Okay.
Looks like this does not.
Okay, so then, by default, 7 days. Okay, notes, read that PO, see if anything stands out. It looks like this is just a 60-piece job, front only.
Mhm.
And customer supplied hoodies. Yep, perfect, yep, that's fine. We're gonna put customer supplied in the invoice anyway.
Okay. She asked if we could supply them.
Yeah, I responded to her and told her typically she'll do that
Okay.
because we're gonna charge her an additional fee if we do it.
Right. Okay.
Okay, so running under that premise, first thing we can go ahead and add to the invoice, if you type the word customer in the search bar for products, no, search bar,
Up here?
no, search bar in the invoice.
Oh.
You're gonna type customer, enter or period. Okay, customer supplied apparel, adds a blank placeholder. Yep, invoice edit, change it to the quantity. Okay, done with that line.
Okay.
Next one we're gonna go ahead and add because we know we're gonna need it is a proof. So proof dot or proof, yeah, there you go. Okay, add that one. Now we are going to drag and drop the proof we create onto that eventually. And then the last thing is apparel
Apparel print.
apparel print. Okay, and quantity 60. And then change the word press, where it says apparel print, digital print press, to the location. So in this case, front, I believe.
It is.
Okay, and then we're almost done. Now look, we have to do manually here what our integrated systems do automatically when we're dealing with customers like Jiffy or the bigger guys that have integrations. We also have to let them know that this is going to be shipped in the back. So go ahead and in the search bar, okay, got a couple options here. This order is big enough to constitute free shipping, so if she wants us to ship it, we'll just buy a label. She doesn't know that it's going to be free though, so I've asked her to provide her UPS account info. For now, we're going to go ahead and put in third party because we're going to assume that that's the direction she's going to want to go with this.
Okay.
If she comes back and says, oh, no, I want to purchase a label, totally fine, but we need to update that because otherwise Bree's going to be in the back trying to figure out how to third party something she doesn't have access to.
Yep.
Okay, so.
Actually.
Okay, so we have the outline of an invoice, and this is correct pricing, but the invoice isn't done because we have not assembled artwork, we haven't assembled a proof, and so you can go ahead and file save the invoice because we're done in there for now. The next thing we need to do is get our hands on the customer supplied artwork. Yeah, I didn't even try this in that PDF, but those might actually be links we may be able to download.
It is.
Cool. So grab both of those.
Try this one.
Yep. Grab the other one too, just in case. Okay, and it's a purple shirt. You have a purple, purple background. That's okay. Go ahead and grab the EPS too, and I'll show you why in a second. Drag and drop both those into the job. Yeah, that was it. Okay. The reason we brought the EPS in is because I'll double click it. It should open it in Adobe. I don't know. I think the first. Oh. Because it's either not supported. Okay. Okay, go ahead and open the other one. Scroll down. You see how that looks like it might be out of place font? The EST. I want to verify that it is or isn't. If you give me that job number, I think I can open an EPS.
253 1049.
Okay, no, per the EPS, that PDF is correct. So, that's good. Good to know. Okay, yep, you've got your artwork file in the job now too, if you want to go ahead and open that. And we're going to drag and drop the PDF in, and we're going to, the import option, it's going to give us two options. We're going to first attempt the safe way, which is to use Cario. Yeah, Poplar. Okay, right. Control Shift G that and see if we can just get rid of that background.
Yep.
Okay, and grab everything else and group it back together. Okay, did they provide instructions on the size that this was supposed to be?
They did not.
Okay, then we are going to assume that the artwork they sent us was scaled. So, yeah. And did you use a t-shirt template or an artwork template?
I used an artwork template. I just thought about how should I use a t-shirt template, but
Okay, so go ahead. You got a couple options here. We know exactly what shirt they're going to use, so we can get online and steal it real quick. Okay. I don't know if you're just making a number up there or not.
I'm not.
Huh?
I'm not.
Okay.
These are usually a little bit bigger. That's usually a small.
Yeah, and look, your best bet is to use the t-shirt template. And I don't mean necessarily that you have to use that SVG file, but if you can get the template out of that SVG file, bring it in, that is actually scaled to be an adult small shirt, which means you can scale this image to that image, and then our scales will be roughly correct. Yeah, that's probably okay.
This artwork looks pretty small on this to me, but I don't know what they're looking for.
Yeah, we have nothing else to go on. So group those two together, drop it on the proof block, scale the proof block down to make this fit as well as possible. And then we're putting this, just keep in mind too, we're putting this proof together not only for the customer, but also for production. So if there are any additional notes, anything that you see that might be a caveat that they might pick up or run into in the back or whatever, or that the customer needs to pay close attention to, drop that on the block as well. This one's pretty straightforward, so I don't think we got to do any of that. Okay, and so export the proof. Now, before you close that, get down to that artwork level. This one just well, you can keep double clicking, it'll keep going inside groups for you, but Okay. Export that 300 DPI with no background or selected only. Call this your print.png and export. Okay, now we have everything we need, I think, to finish the invoice up. So file, save, and close. Invoice edit.
We're gonna take the proof and we're gonna drop it up here.
Drop the proof on the proof and drop the PNG on the apparel print. Okay, and that's essentially it. She emailed me too. Let me see if she had shipping info. Okay, provided a UPS shipping account number, so we will ship this third party. 104094.
Hold on. Yes.
And the zip code is 12151.
Okay. I need the third party account number again.
Huh?
I need the third party account number again.
104094. And zip code 12151. Then the ship to reply from address is here. Now, here's the thing. This is all brand new too. Copy. You need the zip again. 12151. That's it. Okay, copy that account number.
This?
Yes. Okay, hit save. Okay, so now the account profile is set up, the invoice is set up. We know we're going to do third party. They provided us all the information. So now we can go the final extra step in us setting this account up in its entirety of clicking the UPS button up in the top left where the silhouette of the person is for the account.
Oh.
Okay, and drag that over to this screen. Okay, this is where shit gets really, really fun. We're associating a ship from address, or which is the reply to address, right?
Mm-hmm.
So our customer's physical address with their account and their account number and the third party's billing info and any additional reference information that will show up on these shipping labels henceforth. And we can store this with that customer, and this is going to keep the shipping department from ever having to even know it exists in all reality.
Right.
All they have to do is select third-party shipping now, and it's going to pull all this information, make the label the right way. It's going to be a single click instead of the 7-page thing that we had to do on UPS. Okay, so fill all this information in to the best of your ability. It's right there.
It's kind of weird. Computer and office products. Oh, I remember her now.
Okay, couple of caveats. I have no idea how the UPS system is going to handle, because we're doing this all over the web, how it's going to handle an ampersand.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking about that as I was writing it.
Just switch those out to ands. The word and. Let's try and limit special characters to the extent possible.
It just looks like a sand bee.
Well, put a space there.
Oh.
Okay. Now, the only name that's going to show up on the label
Mm-hmm.
is the organization name. The
Okay.
first and the last name you can leave blank because
Right.
it's not physically used anywhere.
Okay.
Make state the letters just NY. Okay, now email and phone. The phone number you type in is going to show up as the attention line on the UPS label. So it needs to be the company's, the ship from company's phone. So that would be the phone you use.
I see.
The email is who gets notified with the tracking information when this ships. And the reason this may or may not be different than our customer's email
Yeah.
is because in the case of Geiger, where all the shipping information goes back to a different department, they need notification of shipment. Our client, our contact does not.
Okay.
So in this case, it looks like it's just going to be her. So you can just put her email address in there. Okay. So then, UPS account info, you need their zip. So 12151. And again, this zip code may be different than their shipping address zip code, so don't run under the assumption that that's the case. And because it is with ours, right?
Yeah.
Reference 1, always leave blank.
Okay.
If left blank here, it will just put the job title in the reference line when we create the label.
Okay, perfect.
All right, so the PO will automatically show up as reference item 1. Reference item 2, you have the ability to add a second reference item, but this is not something that's going to change job by job. This will always, so whether it's their account number or, and again, in this case, we don't have to use it because she hasn't made any requests for that, but in like Geiger's case, for whatever reason, their reference item number 2 needs to be the letter Y.
Okay.
So, okay, once we've got all that, then you're good to go. Just hit save. And at this point, we're done minus sending this back to the customer.
Right.
She did have on her thing over here that the price is, oh, no, that's correct. The price was $3, and here I'm seeing $3.75, but that's before the client level discount of 20%. 20% off from $3.75 would be that 75 cents. So that is all correct. It's $180 for 60 pieces. So we're good. Everything checks out. We're done collecting the job info, so you can click that off. I think it's going to go into a holding bin now. Oh, no, we looked
did
at the
put
artwork.
The artwork together. Now we're in holding because we need to send this over to the customer for approval.
Yeah. Do you remember off the top of your head what that artwork width was?
7 inches wide.
Okay. Well, we're going to put that in the email too. So we're ready to send the pre-canned email out. So invoice email. Just bring up, say, hey, look, we got your email with your account information. We've got your account set up. You're completely good to go. Here's your proof and your quote for this job. You didn't see sizing information specifically called out, so we used the artwork at the scale it was provided, which was 7 inches wide. If you could verify that and this proof and this invoice, I think we're ready to go. Or we're ready to go upon your approval or whatever.
They need to make payment on this before it's.
Well, so that's already in here. You'll see if we move somewhere else, that's still here.
Okay.
But for these types of customers, that's not necessarily a requirement.
Right.
They can pay us after the job's complete. We'll invoice them. I'm not bringing that information to the forefront of the conversation
Right.
because I would much rather them
Yes.
read that little note, make payment, and then we can just move on. And I don't have to chase anyone around, right? So I would neglect that until she asks for it. The only other thing you got to do here is just drag and drop her proof into that attachments line, and I think you're good. Okay, and then of course when you hit send, a copy will go to her and a copy will go to you, so you have paper trail. And then again, just to review the high point here. So we're building this invoice out the way we've traditionally done it, but with a few added steps. And the reason those added steps are in there is to ensure that this job rolls through production once it's approved in the same way these guys are used to receiving their orders, keeping us from having any miscommunications or oh I thoughts or I didn't knows or whatever the case may be. So we're good to go there. You can invoice save, and then it just